Hello and welcome to Profit Channels. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. This is what I call edutainment, combination of education and entertainment. So please consult with your financial advisor before making any decisions. I am often wrong. I am talking about XPLR Infrastructure or XIFR. Here is our monthly channel. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. They stopped giving dividends, so I'm sure they'll start again when they can. This is infrastructure, engages in acquisition, management, and ownership of contracted clean energy projects with long-term cash flows. Interest in wind and solar projects in North America, natural gas infrastructures in Texas. Okay, so price to sales is 0.72. That's pretty. Price to earnings is negative right now. You can see the quarters here, but if you look at this annually, they lost money 23, 24, but are expected to be making money here in 25. Renewable energy, United States. So dividend history has been pretty high, and they've just cut off the dividends, and you can tell by the chart. But our assets and liability situation is nice. If we look at the forecasts, we have 11 analysts. We're at 923, and it's going from 7 to 16. So that's not bad looking. So back to the chart. Here we are. We are on the monthly, just so far below the moving averages. Let's go to the weeklies. We were here with this 50 period, and we broke below it, bounced along it, broke below it. So we're trying to meet up again. So we're real far away from the averages. You can see clearly that there's strength at this level and this level. If we go down to the daily, so now we are just moving along in this little channel here. We've got some nice gaps above us that we're likely to fill, and you can see if we go back the earnings, minus 42 cents, minus $1.08, minus $1.04, 05. And now we're supposed to post up $0.39. So I expect us to get up at least to 16, no doubt. Back to the weekly. We look at our volume profiles. So we see we got some strength up here, but our point of control here is in the short term. In the medium term, same place. And let me actually go back to the day so I can do all three. Well, it doesn't. Yeah, well, weekly I think is best. Okay. Anyway, so here we are. We got some resistance here. We got some resistance right here for these charts, these volume profiles. So let's hide this stuff. But yeah, right now this is all loaded up right here. So what's next? Oh yeah. Let's look at a fib retracement. So what I'm doing here is I am retracing fib retracement from here to up here. So COVID crash to this peak. And you can see these lines are real pretty. We're right below 2 full fibs. You can see 168. It's kind of no man's land, but one full move puts us right in here, nice and pretty. And then you can see 0.6. We got some touches. 0.5. I mean, really, it's a pretty looking chart here. 0.382. Escape. Put in. Yeah, and this lines up with our volume profile quite nicely, other than the 618. Okay, now let's look at fib extensions. And if I do a little short term, let me get to the daily. I do a short term fib extension from the bottom to the top of this channel back to this bottom. Here's our fib lines, and 2 puts us right in the middle of this gap. 786 gets us to the top of this pattern. And then you can see 3 full fibs gets us right in here, this first major area of resistance. So that's a little short-term one. Let's look at a longer-term one. Back to the weekly. All right. So I'm doing it from the bottom here, extension, bottom here, not the tail of the weekly, to the top, back to the bottom. And you can see that, these lines are in the middle of nowhere. Let's make this a little bigger. But the 786 and the 1 just brackets this area of resistance. The 272 and the 618 brackets this area of resistance, right? You can see it here and here. And then 2 is just right at the bottom here, like nice touches, a nice level. And 3, we're out of the channel. But we got earnings coming out next Thursday that are going to be hopefully nice and positive, and we can jump up around, 786 and get to $15 potentially. If I look at this chart, this stock and other charts, monthly, we're negative here with the parabolic SAR and the super trend. We're real bottomed out on the RSI. The squeeze momentum is becoming less bearish, and it's just flat down here in the MACD, but a little bit of a green histogram, so we're crossing. If I go to the week, we got our first buy signal on the parabolic SAR. We've got the RSI going from oversold and climbing out. This is becoming, squeeze momentum is less bearish, and the MACD is trending up. We got some green histogram bars. And into the day, we got buys on everything. We've got RSI that's coming out of oversold and climbing nicely. Squeeze momentum is just showing a little bit of bullishness, and our MACD just crossed over to the positive side from, you can see this was looking downward trending, but we're definitely upward trending. And then this is the Bollinger, RSI Bollinger strategy, but there's not enough data on the monthly. We can see the money flow index is coming out. It's coming up out of the oversold. The stochastics are looking really terrible here, but potential to come up. And our ADX is up at 50. So that's really high. So that means we're ready for a trend change. Is typically what that means. To the week, you can see we've been busting out of our Bollinger Band. We got a false buy signal. You drop down again. And so we're way under the moving average. Bring this back in. Money flow index is up. Stochastics is trending up. And our trend, we're down to 31. So we're moving to no trend, and then hopefully back to trend again, except up. Now the daily. You can see we're starting to meet up with our moving average in this Bollinger Band. Money flow index, where are you? There it is. Moving up. Stochastics are down at the moment, but they can fluctuate. And then ADX just over 20, so we may be starting an upward trend. I think these indicators here, the parabolic SAR and super trend, are the nicest looking. So hope you liked it. This is a really interesting one. I think there's opportunity. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like.